At 30 years old, he still remains a compelling force, driven by an unwavering passion for life and rugby. Though he has plenty to keep him busy on the family farm near Bethlehem, 165 miles south of Johannesburg, his energy is boundless. Who am I talking about? Bismarck Du Plessis. He and his wife Anya are parents to 3 boys, including 6-year-old identical twins, with twin girls on the way in March. Despite his illustrious career, featuring 79 caps for South Africa, a 2007 World Cup winners' medal, and numerous other accolades, the battle-scarred hooker shows no signs of slowing down. He could easily seek a quieter life, but his dedication and love for the game and his family continue to drive him forward. But then, Bismarck Du Plessis, a warrior on the field, still has one final wish in his heart: to inspire everyone to recognize and cherish the profound gifts that rugby can offer. His father, Francois, who instilled in Bismarck and his brother a deep love for the game, was a guiding force, motivating them to become indomitable Springboks. Tragically, Francois contracted Parkinson's disease when Bismarck was 17 and Yanni was 19, and he passed away in 2017. But where did it all begin? Bismarck Du Plessis began his Super Rugby career with the Sharks in 2005, back when it was still called the Super 12. Playing as a hooker, he often found himself as the backup to John Smit, the South African captain. This dynamic changed when Smit switched to playing tighthead prop, giving Bismarck more time on the field. Even before the position change, Bismarck filled in during Super Rugby and the Currie Cup whenever Smit was unavailable. In 2007, his hard work paid off when he was chosen to play for South Africa in the Tri-Nations Series. His debut was a special moment as he came on as a substitute in a game against Australia in Sydney, the same match where his older brother who started the game also made his debut for the Springboks. Speaking of his brother, they both enjoyed remarkable careers, both locally and internationally. Yanni and Bismarck were frequent Currie Cup champions, with Yanni winning titles with the Toyota Cheetahs and Chelsea Sharks, and Bismarck with the KwaZulu-Natalians. Their success extended to Europe, where they were part of the Montpellier team that won the EPCR Challenge Cup in 2016, and Bismarck added another victory with the French club in 2021. Most of their careers were spent making significant impacts in South African rugby before joining Montpellier. Eventually they returned home, Yanni to the Emirates Lions and Bismarck to the Vodacom Bulls, where they concluded their playing days. Yanni wrapped up his career with the Johannesburg side at the end of 2022, while Bismarck retired after the Vodacom Bulls were eliminated from the Vodacom United Rugby Championship quarterfinals. He played his final Currie Cup game on June 10th. The Du Plessis brothers were dedicated servants to the Springboks, with Bismarck earning 79 test caps and Yanni 70. Both also played in 4 non-test matches for South Africa. Now, playing rugby in both hemispheres has helped Bismarck Du Plessis realize that the sport's best qualities are universal. During his time in France with Montpellier, he often asked his local rugby friends why they chose rugby over football or handball. The answer was always the same: they cherished the camaraderie, just as he did. He also shares an endearing story about how the Bulls coach, Jake White, coaxed him out of retirement. "When I stopped playing at Montpellier, I didn't want to play again. I was back on the farm, in the harvester, when I suddenly got a phone call from Jake. He said, 'I'm on your farm,' to which I replied, 'No you're not, I am.' At that point, he sent me a picture of himself standing there. The rest is history." White wanted Du Plessis to help mentor the Bulls' younger players and show them that age is just a number. Giving back to South Africa's next generation became another motivating factor for Bismarck. He reminisces about his youth in Durban, living in a small flat with Rian Pina, where their next-door neighbour was Johan Ackerman, the former Gloucester coach. He recalls the way Johan treated him and the impact he had on his rugby career. So for him, if he can just give that back, even to half a player, that's enough. What a dream, right? A dream comes true. In 2007, Bismarck Du Plessis was called into South Africa's squad for the Rugby World Cup due to an illness to Pierre Spies. His brother Yanni joined the squad later, replacing BJ Botha, who suffered a knee injury in the final pool match against the USA. Bismarck made an impact coming off the bench in a thrilling match against Wales, which South Africa narrowly won 17-16. Flying to England always brings back vivid childhood memories for Bismarck. Why, you may ask? Well, as a youngster, he'd admired the 1995 England side and held great respect for Clive Woodward's 2003 team. Those players were icons in his eyes, admired for their ability to perform under pressure. Among them, Johnny Wilkinson stood out the most. To Bismarck, Wilkinson epitomised the values he held dear in rugby: relentless hard work and determination, even if he wasn't the most naturally gifted player. But there were days when it was England that felt the full force of Bismarck and his teammates. The 36-0 pool stage demolition of England at the 2007 World Cup was one of those days, a match Bismarck considered one of his best. Another memorable victory came in 2008 at Twickenham, where the Springboks triumphed 42-6. Speaking of the year 2008, and during the end-of-year test series, the Springboks made a significant tactical shift. They moved Smit to tighthead prop to accommodate both him and the younger, faster Bismarck in the front row. This change proved effective and continued throughout the 2009 Super 14 season and into the Springboks 2009 test season, showcasing the strategic flexibility and strength of the team. After South Africa's second game of the 2008 Tri-Nations series against New Zealand, Du Plessis was cited for an alleged eye gouge on New Zealand's Adam Thompson. At his first ever disciplinary hearing, the judicial officer determined that Du Plessis' action had been careless rather than deliberate. As a result, he received a 3-week suspension, a much lighter penalty compared to the typical 3 to 6 month bans usually given for intentional eye gouging. 2012 to 2015. In June 2012, Bismarck delivered a standout performance against England in the second test, earning the Man of the Match award and scoring a try in a gripping 36-27 victory for the Springboks, sealed by a late try from winger JP Peterson. However, Bismarck's career has not been without controversy. During the 2013 Rugby Championship, he received 2 yellow cards in a heated match against New Zealand, resulting in a red card. The IRB later admitted an error in one of the yellow cards and overturned the red card, striking it from Bismarck's record. This incident highlighted the intense and often contentious nature of international rugby. Also, it's good to acknowledge that Bismarck and Heyneke Du Plessis have faced more than their fair share of character-defining life experiences, including profound tragedies. In 2021, Heynike's 10-month-old son tragically drowned in a swimming pool accident. This heartbreaking event has given Bismarck a deeper perspective on life, making him acutely aware of the relative insignificance of rugby-related aches and pains. Despite these challenges, Bismarck continued to shine, solidifying his position as the Springboks' first-choice hooker. His skill and resilience earned him a spot in the 2015 Rugby World Cup squad, further cementing his legacy as a formidable force in rugby. Now the question remains, what drives your passion to overcome challenges in your own life, just like Bismarck did on the rugby field? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more inspiring sports stories. Until next time, keep pushing forward.